Hey, it's Adam from the Next Level Showcast on Next Level Radio. Happy Mother's Day to you and your family. On this episode of the Showcast, we talked about which of your favorite TV shows were canceled, which ones were renewed, and some that were taken off the air a little too soon. We also recapped our interview with Celina Jade, and we had on one of the organizers of the 24-hour game show marathon. Definitely something you want to check out. Head over to gameshowmarathon.com for more information, and make sure you watch it and donate. It's for a great cause, the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. You can watch it Saturday, May 17th, starting at 12 noon. And again, you can head over to gameshowmarathon.com to find out more information and see how you can donate to the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. Also in this episode, we discussed the box office as usual with the Next Level News and Weird of the Week, and we previewed a couple interviews we have coming up this week, including a pretty big one next Sunday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, when we talk with one of the cast from Godzilla. We also give a spoiler-free review of the movie as well, so you know if it's worth going to see. But make sure you tune in Sunday, May 18th, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, because we're also going to be giving you a special little hint of another way you can get an entry for our big summer contest. And only people listening live will be able to find out what that is. So make sure you tune in live next Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, nextlevelradioonline.com. Twitter is at NXT Level Radio, and Facebook, facebook.com/Next Level Radio Online. Thanks for listening.
Get ready for the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
It is another Next Level Showcast here on Next Level Radio. Sunday, May 11th.
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day. You beat me to it. So happy Mother's Day to our mothers and all the other mothers out there. So hopefully you got some goodies from your kids.
Yeah.
So we got a packed show today. A lot has come across in the news about television shows that are being canceled and being renewed, as well as some new ones that are being greenlit. We are going to discuss as many of them as we can, so it's going to be a pretty full show. I'm sure there's some that we're probably going to forget, but we're going to try and cover as many of them as we can. We are going to recap the interview with Celina Jade that we did this week, as well as let you know of a couple other interviews we've got coming up this coming week. Did I say Celina Jade was this week?
This past week.
It was this past week, yeah. But, got some other ones coming up this week that we'll tell you about. We'll recap our big summer contest and let you know all about that and more. So
much more.
And much, much more. But what do you say for right now? We get started with the box office for the weekend.
Sure.
All right, what do you got for us for the box office?
Finishing at number one, opening, I should say, at number one, Neighbors, 51 million in its opening week. Pretty good.
Yeah, that one kind of surprised me that it beat Spider-Man. That Spider-Man only spent 1 week at number one.
Yeah, I was a little surprised too. I mean, the movie does look good though, Neighbors.
It does. It does look funny, and I've heard a lot of good reviews about it. So.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard either way yet. It's got a 74% on Rotten Tomatoes, so.
I was going to ask if you had any idea what the Rotten Tomatoes rating on it was.
74 tomato meter, 80% on the audience.
Okay.
Number two, Amazing Spider-Man 2, 37.2 mil. So I mean, not bad for its second week. Actually, you know, I would have thought it would have brought in a little more in its second week, to be honest. Not a bad second week in general, though.
Not a bad second week, but I'm not hearing all the greatest reviews, to be honest with you. I'm hearing some good reviews, but I'm not hearing great reviews.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was last week on Rotten Tomatoes, but it's at 54 right now.
Wow, that's for a comic book movie. That's like Daredevil level.
Audience is 74, so I mean it's not too bad. But Captain America is 89, so just compare it.
Yeah,
compare it for what you will. Number 3, The Other Woman, sticking at number 3, 9.2 million. Number 4. Or sorry, no, it's in its third week. It was number 2 last week. I said sticking at number 3. It was number 2 last week. Number 4 is Heaven is for Real. That dropped back a spot as well, 7 million.
Yeah, but still staying in the top 5.
Yeah, it's in its 4th week in the top 5. And Captain America dropped back a spot as well to number 5 with another 5.6 mil. In 6 weeks, grossing 244 million, almost 245 million. Opening this week that did not make the top 5, Mom's Night Out. That brought in 4.2 mil. And Legends of Oz, Dorothy's Return, animated, brought in 3.7. Mom's Night Out.
I'm not surprised that Wizard of Oz didn't open larger, because I didn't hear a damn thing about that movie.
Yeah, it didn't get a lot of press.
No. So I'm not surprised at all that it. No. I mean, if they would have put some more money in the promotion, it might have done a little better. But
14% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's what the Return to Oz.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Dorothy's Return. Yeah,
Dorothy's Return.
Mom's Night Out 17. So you can see why they didn't make the top 5.
Yeah.
Now coming out this week, Godzilla, the highly anticipated film about the most gigantic lizard you've ever met.
I've read some advanced reviews. Not great. Again, like Spider-Man, good, but not great. I've heard that you actually don't even see Godzilla until about an hour into the movie.
Really?
Yeah, which is kind of surprising.
They have one of the Godzilla's like arch enemies in it, don't they? Not Mothra. What's the other one?
There's another creature that's in the movie. I'm not sure which one it is.
Yeah, I can't remember. I know I saw one of the trailers. I think had mentioned it. I forget, but $1 Million Arm coming out as well. John Hamm movie about a sports agent who stages an unconventional recruitment strategy by going to India to recruit some cricket players to play Major League Baseball.
Looks good.
Yeah, it does look pretty good. It's a Disney movie, so I mean, it's probably decent.
They do pretty good when it comes to the sports movies. I mean, it's Remember the Titans, Cool Runnings, The Rookie.
Invincible.
Which one?
Invincible.
Invincible. So they do pretty well when they're telling the sports stories.
Yeah. Now, some of these future movies do have a number on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's basically just the critics, because the audience hasn't seen it yet. Godzilla, according to the critics, has 88%. $1 Million Arm has 50%. So I mean, I'll still go see probably both of them.
Yeah. I know for sure I'll go and see Godzilla. I definitely do want to see $1 Million Arm. So yeah. Chances are I'll probably go see both. I still have to go see Spider-Man. So
yeah, so do I. I got quite a few movies to go see.
Yeah, we're gonna get backed up in movies pretty soon, especially once we hit the summer. And you've got like Guardians of the Galaxy and
X-Men.
It's
out in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be a packed summer full of some good movies.
As it usually is. Best time of year to go see a movie.
It absolutely is.
And then last one, The Immigrant, with it's a drama thriller, mystery, romance, all that good stuff. Joaquin Phoenix is in it. Jeremy Renner. I'm not sure how to pronounce. Marion Cotillard?
No idea.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Mean Streets of Manhattan. Ewa, I think EWA is the main female character's name. Falls prey to Bruno, a charming but wicked man who takes her in and forces her into prostitution.
So it sounds like a lighthearted romp.
Yes, exactly. Sounds like a good movie to take the kids out to.
Oh yeah. That's a date night movie.
Yeah, so that wraps it up on my end.
All right, moving on to my end as far as DVD and Blu-ray releases for this week. First off, we have I, Frankenstein with Aaron Eckhart.
Ugh.
I was going to say Ian Eckhart because I was in the I Am Frankenstein or I Frankenstein thing. With Aaron Eckhart, made about $19.1 million at the box office. It is at a 4% on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it does not look good.
It looked right up there along the level of Van Helsing, which was not that good. Van Helsing was okay. I probably think I would compare it more to Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah.
Which just looked like it had absolutely nothing to do with the story of Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah, and this has pretty much nothing to do with the story of Frankenstein.
Except he just was like created by a doctor, and so they called him a Frankenstein. But Frankenstein, as far as I knew, never fought evil. So, and couldn't do martial arts and do all this other stuff.
Did he ever talk in complete sentences?
No. And he certainly did not look like Aaron Eckhart.
No, he did not.
I mean, as Frankenstein and I, Frankenstein, he's better looking than Two-Face in The Dark Knight. That shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, correct.
So, as I said, 4% on Rotten Tomatoes for the critics, 43% for the viewers. So even still, not even that good.
Right.
And the only other release worth mentioning this week is your favorite of the Oscar picks, Her.
Oh, gosh.
Joaquin Phoenix, Amy Adams, and the voice of Scarlett Johansson. Only made about $25.5 million at the box office, but it's a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I liked it. I thought it was a good movie.
Yeah, and you didn't finish Philomena either.
You're right, I didn't.
People have different movie tastes, you know?
You're right. No,
I didn't care for it. I liked Philomena a lot. You liked Her because you're a weirdo, and you didn't care for Philomena because you're a curmudgeon.
I thought I was entitled to my own opinions when it comes to movies. Somehow
you are. They're not the right ones, but you're entitled to them.
Oh, yeah, 25.5 at the mil at the box office, 94% for the critics, 85% for the viewers. So decent ratings. Like I said, I enjoyed the movie. It's going to be a pass for I Am Frankenstein, and Her is most likely going to be a rent. I'll watch it again.
Pass on both.
Yeah, I figured as much. But that is it on my end. So week
at the box office.
Yeah, it was a pretty quiet week at the box office and DVD releases. I looked ahead. There's really not a lot of big DVD releases in the next couple weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's going to be pretty slow. The box office is going to start picking up as far as movie releases because X-Men's coming out in the next couple weeks. As well as a couple other ones that are going to be coming out.
Since we're a little ahead of schedule, do you want me to tell you about my trip to the zoo?
Sure.
Yeah, today for Mother's Day, for those of you not familiar with Philadelphia, we went to the Philadelphia Zoo down in Philadelphia. It was cool.
America's first zoo.
Yeah, was it?
Yes, it was. Philadelphia Zoo was America's first zoo.
I did not know that.
You should have known that. It says it right above the doorway, right above the archway as you walk into the zoo.
Oh, does it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I don't read.
Oh.
But it was very crowded. Which is, it's a Sunday and it's Mother's Day, so that's not surprising.
Usually is this time of year once the weather starts to get nicer.
Yeah. And my sister, she actually has a membership. So one of us was able to get in for free.
Hopefully that was your mother.
Yes.
Okay.
No. Well, I mean my mother and actually Andrea. And then I paid for me.
Oh, okay.
But we also went down with my in-laws, Andrea's parents, and they came as well. We all rode down together. But they had the new, these tunnels they have for the tigers now.
The habit trails, as I call them.
Yeah, the habit trails. Yeah, it just opened yesterday. So from what I saw, it was really only just one little thing going across. I don't know if they're going to be expanding on it, or we didn't really explore it too much, because it does connect. Like they have a big cat, like display type of thing that you walk through, and the tigers kind of end it, and then the big cat crossing this habit trail picks up from there and then goes over the walkway when you're coming in and then into another area. I didn't go look at the other area, so there might have been more over there.
Well, there's supposed to be other ones for other animals as well.
There's monkey ones for the monkeys.
Well, there's also supposed to be paths for horses and zebras to run.
Oh, really?
And there's also supposed to be a mountain kind of thing that you can actually enter into with the goats. That the goats actually climb up.
Yeah, I did see the goats. I don't know if I saw anywhere for them to climb, but I know, at least on their website, they have the Big Cat Crossing, which is the tigers, the Great Ape Trail, which looks to be like orangutans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then the Treetop Trail, which is the smaller type of monkeys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there was one tiger laying, right in the middle of this habit trail, and there's a huge crowd just clogging the pathway, looking at it.
Well, he wants attention. That's why.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was loving it.
I mean, they're cats. They might be tigers. They might be large and vicious, but they're still cats, and cats love attention.
There was an actual walking through the Big Cat thing. There was a sign, I think, where the tigers normally would roam, in the big field when they're not on the habit trail, and it had mentioned yeah, these are tigers, but they're just like, some of the stuff they do is like your cats at home, like they like to scratch on stuff and this, that, and all your other stuff your cat likes to do. So.
Yeah, they're giant cats. I mean, that's pretty much what they are.
Yeah.
They'll lick each other, and they'll scratch at trees, and they'll, I don't know, they'll piss in a pile of your clothes, and so they'll do everything that cats like to do. And believe me, I know offhand because I have many of them.
Yeah, and it was really crowded, so it was hard to really get a great look at the whole area. But it would be cool to go down there maybe on a weekday when it's not as crowded and be able to see, everything a little quicker. Because, we were there. We got there at 11:30. We left at, almost 4:30. It was 4:15 or so by the time we got to our car. So, we were there for almost 5 hours, and I don't even think we got to see everything.
Yeah,
That's how crowded it was.
It's one of those things that you have to go down during the week while everybody's working and everybody's in school. So you can actually walk around and enjoy everything and take everything in. I know one of my favorite things to do when I was there, and it's been years since I've been there, but I'm pretty sure it's still there. And it was great because the girl I was seeing at the time, we took my little brother, and they were both afraid to do this. There's a giant bird cage that you can go in with cups of nectar, and the birds will land on you and drink the nectar out of the cups. And
yeah, we didn't do that this time. I know we went down last year and did it to, I think it was free for that day or something. Normally it costs a couple bucks.
I think it's $2.
Last year we did it, and it was really cool. You just hold your arm out with this cup of nectar, and the birds come over, land on your arms. It feels kind of weird, but you get used to it.
Well, see, my mother owned birds for years, so I already knew how to handle birds and and how to hold them, and I was used to them
reach out and grab them.
Yeah, exactly. Just grab by a wing so they can't fly away. And no, that's not how you hold a bird. But I was already used to having birds on my shoulders and stuff like that. So I was in my element when I was in that cage. I think at one point
they actually started calling you Birdman.
No, not really.
You turned into a superhero.
Yeah. No, that's Hawkeye.
Oh, okay.
But there's I remember, I think at one point I had 8 birds on me, and I was loving every second of it. And my girlfriend at the time was freaking out; she wasn't even in the cage.
They're gonna kill you.
Exactly.
They also do have in the aviary building. You walk through, and there is a room where some of the birds and ducks kind of roam around. They don't necessarily land on you, but they're flying around you, walking around you. You can touch them, stuff like that.
Yeah.
People are in there feeding them. One flew so close to me that I felt like a very large breeze, and I was like, "Oh, what the heck was that?" And I turned around, there's duck or something that had just flown by me, almost landed on me. Oh, by the way, I have to mention this before we take a break. Andrea and I had made our way over to the giraffes and rhinos. They're right next to each other, or the zebras are next to the rhinos.
Yeah.
So we just had made our way to the rhinos, and they have those signs that say what the animal is, and it said white rhinoceros or something like that, or some kind of rhinoceros. I don't remember which type it was. But this woman walks over with her child. She walks over and she reads it to her kid as to say which animal it was. She goes, "Rhinoceros." She's reading the word rhinoceros as rhinoceros.
Well.
And Andrea and I just look at each other like, did you hear what she just said? We're just like, yeah, she just said rhinoceros.
Yeah, well, you know.
Let's teach our kids the right words, people. It's rhinoceros.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a dinosaur.
Rhinoceros would have been awesome dinosaurs, though.
Yes, it would have. But
been
yeah,
an
that was
awesome
my day at the zoo. It was cool. It's fun to go to the zoo like once a year.
Yeah, I gotta get there. I actually, it's already in the works, but I'm gonna be taking a full 4-day weekend starting on Thursday and going into Sunday, and I'm gonna be hitting all the points in Philadelphia. Constitution Center, Liberty Bell, Franklin Institute,
This
Academy
weekend?
of Natural Sciences. No. This is coming up.
Just in the future.
Probably, I think, like August or September.
Okay.
I have some friends coming out from Pittsburgh who have never done the full Philly experience, so I'm going to take them
To the Mint?
I'm going to take them to Franklin Mint, Betsy Ross House, Ben Franklin's house, the First Firehouse, Academy of Natural Sciences, Please Touch Museum, the Mutter Museum, although they might be a little freaked out by the Mutter Museum. I know I
don't know
might.
if I've ever been to that.
It's all the human body, but it's like the insides of the human body.
I gotcha. Is it like the that what they had at the Franklin Institute, that one
Yes.
thing?
Yes.
Human Bodies or whatever that was called.
Yeah. But I'll take them to the art museum so they can run the steps like Rocky, and then, of course, we'll go out for a cheesesteak, but I'll take them to a real cheesesteak place, not one of the tourist cheesesteak places like Pat's or Gino's.
Yeah.
You only go to Pat's or Gino's in the city if you're a tourist.
I've gone to Gino's before.
I have too, but I've been to much better
And
places.
it's good. Yeah, I mean they're all good down there. There's very few places you can go where it's not going to be a good cheesesteak.
They're good. They're
because they know where to get. Yeah, well, I mean they know a lot of it. I'm not going to say all of it, but a lot of it has to do with the roll.
bread.
Yeah, if you have a roll that's falling
Bread.
apart on you, forget it, man.
Bread. They do not
Whatever.
call it a roll at a proper cheesesteak place.
I don't give a shit what they call it. I call it a roll.
That'll be a discussion for another show. So
Either way, if it's falling apart on you and you got cheesesteak coming out the bottom, it's no good.
yes, but sometimes a greasy cheesesteak is the best cheesesteak.
Yeah, and you know you have a good roll
Bread.
if it doesn't fall apart.
All right. With that being said, we got a lot to cover when we come back from break. We're going to go over the different TV shows that were canceled and brought back and renewed, as well as greenlit ones that are going to be starting up next season. We have a list of a bunch of shows that are gone, but not forgotten. Probably canceled a little too soon before their time. We're going to have a guy named Bob coming on. He's going to tell us a little bit about this awesome charity event that's going to be happening next weekend. He's going to give you the details on that and let you know how you can become involved with it, raising money for Children's Hospital in Philadelphia. Next level news, word of the week, all that, but we are going to take a break, and we will be back in just a few minutes.
Alabama!
A little clip there from Three Amigos. It's funny,
Old
maybe.
radio show I had, actually.
What's that?
Junior year of college, I had a radio show called The Three Amigos.
Really?
Oh, fun fact for you.
Oh.
Eventually, we actually had 4 people on the show, so it was kind of pointless. But we were still called The Three Amigos.
A little tidbit from Adam's past.
Future Jeopardy question.
Hey, who knows? Maybe one day. What was the name of Adam's four-man show from college?
It's a trick question.
The Three Amigos. If you are listening to us on the Mixlr page and you're not already registered with Mixlr, please register with Mixlr. You can chat with us in the chat room as long as you are registered. It is free.
Follow us.
It is free to register. Yes, and follow us on Mixlr. Follow us on Twitter at NXT Level Radio. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Next Level Radio Online. And, of course, go to our webpage, www.nextlevelradioonline.com. And from there, you can find a link to our YouTube page. And we suggest you go there and subscribe to us on YouTube as well. Trust me, when it comes to our big summer contest, you're going to want to do all these things because it's really, really, really going to help.
Yeah, and if you're podcasting us, try to listen live on Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern. This way you can interact with us and whatnot. And in the future, we are going to, when we get to a certain number of live listeners, we'll be able to have some call-in contest type of things.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So.
And I know we had talked about, and I forgot to mention this to you, Ben, so this is the first you're hearing of this idea, but I know we had talked about
oh boy,
doing like a letter of the week and then like a word of the month type of deal. I say that I was thinking that we could only give that out to the live listeners.
You mean cut it from the podcast?
Yes.
I'm down with that.
Yeah,
I'm actually pretty good with that. I think whether we do a trivia question or we do something like a letter or a word of the day or something like that when it comes to the podcast, yeah, I think that's a good little bonus for to make people want to listen live, just so they can get that and give them a little bit of an advantage when it comes to the summer contest.
Exactly.
But the summer contest is going to be running all summer up until August 31st, in which we are going to be giving away a top-of-the-line Blu-ray player and 10 Blu-rays of your choice to get you started in your Blu-ray collection. However, the drawback or the stipulation to the contest is we must hit 750 likes on Facebook by August 31st. Actually, a little before August 31st, because that's when we're going to announce the winner. If by August 31st, though, we are not at 750 likes, you get nothing. I know. It's too bad. I know. It's too bad you don't have that clip.
You get nothing, you lose. Good day, sir.
Good day, sir. Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
So definitely spread the word on Facebook, spread the word on Twitter. Tell your friends to like our Facebook page, because once we get up to 750 likes, that contest goes active. And in the meantime, for every, if you subscribe to us on Facebook or like us on Facebook, you get one entry into the contest. If you like us on YouTube, you get another. Subscribe to us on Mixlr, get another. Subscribe to us or follow us on Twitter, get another. And we'll be doing some random stuff between now and then, like Adam said, a word of the night or a word of the day. I might even do some movie trivia on Mondays, like a Monday movie trivia. And if you answer it correctly, or you're one of the first people to post on the page with the correct answer, you will get another additional chance. So there's going to be many, many ways for you to get in. But the most important ways are to subscribe to us on YouTube, Twitter, Mixlr, Facebook, and listen to us live. Those are the most important ones.
Remember, we need 750 likes, or...
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
That was quickness. So
yes, I do my best. I do want to, later on, I'll play a little clip. Have you heard the new... what's her name? Lorde. Her new song, Tennis Courts?
No.
All right. Well, I'll during one of the breaks, I'll play it for you. In the one area of it, a background person or something says like, yeah. And it seriously sounds
like the goat.
Yeah.
It might be.
I might play it for you later.
She's weird like that, so it might be.
Yeah. I think I eventually would like to put the goat in instead of the that's actually in there, and see if anybody notices a difference.
It's Lord's fans. They might not.
Yeah, true.
But anyway, a lot of big news in the world of television lately. All the major networks have come out with their list of shows that have made the cut and have not made the cut. Shows that have gotten canceled and shows that have gotten picked up for the upcoming fall season, starting this fall in September, as well as some new shows that they've greenlit and stuff like that. But going over the list, we have the complete list of all the 5 major networks: ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, and the CW. A couple shockers in there, at least in my opinion. I know some shows that got canceled that a lot of people were expecting to actually make it, and then some shows that nobody was really surprised that they even got canceled.
That is correct.
So, any shows off the top of your head that you can think of that you know of, you were kind of a little disappointed to hear got canceled?
Enlisted.
You've been
not because. Yeah. What's that?
You've been talking about this one for a while.
Yeah, you know what? They pulled the last 4 or 5 episodes, and we're waiting to replay them. I don't know if there were talks that they were still going to play them again, even though it was canceled, just to finish it out. I had seen a couple episodes of it, and it was pretty funny, and we were actually pretty close to getting somebody from the show, an interview with somebody from the show, so I was really bummed when I found out it was canceled.
One of the main characters from the show, too.
Yeah, we were possibly going to have Jeff Stoltz on the show, which would have been really cool.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll do something else, and we'll be able to get him later on down the road.
AKA Josh Duhamel's lookalike.
Yes, absolutely. But what network do you want me to start with? I'll give you the rundown of that particular network shows that got canceled.
I know Mixology got canceled, so let's start off with ABC.
I'm going to start off with ABC. All right, the list of ABC shows, and I think they go in alphabetical order, too. Starting off with America's Funniest Home Videos, which I didn't even know was still on, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Was renewed. The Bachelor was renewed. Dancing with the Stars renewed. Castle, which is a show I've been wanting to check out for a little bit of time, was renewed. Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. happily renewed.
Yeah, you know what, and it was up for question earlier in the season, and then it got, it picked up as the season progressed, and it started leaning towards more of a renewal, and then it got renewed. So I'm glad it did, because it picked up.
I think right around Captain America Winter Soldier is when the show started to pick up.
Yeah, about a month ago, yeah.
So, I mean, it was towards the end, so obviously it was sitting on the bubble there for a little bit, but the ratings have gone up, and the show has gotten so much better since Captain America Winter Soldier. So it's no surprise to me that it was renewed.
And Tuesday's the finale.
I know. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm definitely excited. But moving on, The Goldbergs was renewed. Trophy Wife, no surprise, canceled. The Middle, renewed. Suburgatory, canceled. Super Fun Night, which I had never even heard of.
Yeah, same.
Canceled. The Taste is still in the air, just basically because it's a summer filler. It's not even really a full show.
What's The Taste? Is that the cooking show?
It is. It's 4 judges, Anthony Bourdain being one of them, and they judge blindly. They blind taste test the food, and they rate the chefs exclusively just on the taste of their spoon.
Oh, interesting.
So I watch it. It's actually a pretty good show.
It's like The Voice, but for food.
Yes, exactly. Which, to me, is better because The Voice annoys the hell out of me.
Yes.
Grey's Anatomy, renewed. Modern Family, no surprise.
That's gotta be ending soon, right? That's like 10, 11 seasons now.
Is it?
Grey's Anatomy, yeah.
I don't know. I've never watched one episode, so I wouldn't even know. Modern Family, no surprise, was renewed. Scandal renewed. Nashville, surprisingly, actually renewed because I heard
that was a major bubble, right?
Yeah, that was a major bubble that I heard was actually probably pretty close to being canceled. So yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that it made it.
Yeah, I think last week was like a big week for it to figure it out.
Yeah, Revenge was renewed. These next two, I'm kind of pleased and surprised at the same time, basically, because I loved both of these shows. One of them made it, and one of them didn't. Last Man Standing was renewed with Tim Allen, or Home Improvement 2.0, as I call it, because the show is funny. The show is funny.
I haven't seen it. I'll have to check it out.
I love it. It's basically he's Tim Allen, just like from Home Improvements, except for 3 boys, he's got 3 girls.
Was this its first year?
No, this was the 3rd season, I believe.
Wow, really? It's been on that long?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think this was the 3rd season of the show. The other one, The Neighbors, which was very quirky and very different, and I call it... They were aliens.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're aliens.
And
right?
I caught it on a whim. I caught the show on the whim. Like, I was watching Last Man Standing, I was watching Modern Family, because it premiered after Modern Family the first year it started. And I just happened to have Modern Family on. I was watching Modern Family, and Modern Family went off, and The Neighbors premiered after it. And I just hadn't changed the channel yet. And I turned to the TV, and I caught it. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, what the hell is this show? I've never even heard of this. And I watched the premiere, and I was laughing my ass off.
Really?
So I loved it, and it made it through 2 seasons, but unfortunately was canceled, so it's not going to be coming back.
Honestly, I didn't even know the show was still on.
The Neighbors?
Until I looked at these lists. Yeah, I knew it debuted last year, and I didn't realize it was still on the air this year.
Yeah. Renewed, another show that I've definitely gotten into in the past couple years is Shark Tank. Shark Tank was renewed.
Yeah, that's a cool show.
Yeah. Once Upon a Time renewed, good thing, because that's a great show. 2-hour finale tonight at 8 o'clock, which I will be watching as long as we can get the show done by 8.
Yeah, but the Wonderland version...
Once Upon a Time in Wonderland was canceled.
Yeah, they pulled that, I think, before the season even finished.
Yeah. They did finish the season.
Oh, did they?
They did,
okay.
yeah.
Well, they were quick to cancel it, I know that.
Well, it wasn't pulling in the ratings.
Yeah, that had been canceled. Like, they had announced that they were canceling that a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Betrayal was canceled. Resurrection, which I already stopped watching, renewed.
Yes, glad it did, because the season finale was crazy.
Mind Games was canceled, and Mixology, which I know was one that you were kind of a fan of, was unfortunately canceled.
I like that show. It's very funny, but the premise of it is these people are all, like, the whole season is one night in a bar. So I don't know how they would have expanded to 2 seasons anyway. Like, you can't really go anywhere with it. So I'm not surprised it was canceled, but it is a funny show. And going back to Resurrection, I think you should watch the season finale.
I might go back to it. I just kind of got bored with it.
Yeah, it picks up. I mean, the last episode's crazy. It opens up a whole can of worms of questions that you're just like, what? Just like literally, the last episode makes you ask yourself if you know at all what's going on.
Let me ask you though, when it comes to that show, by the last episode, are there more than 3 people that have come back?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. Maybe it might be worth it for me to go back then.
Yeah, the second or third to the last episode really picks up.
Really?
Yep.
I might have to go back and revisit that one. But staying on the note of ABC, as far as shows that they've greenlit for the upcoming season, when we were talking about Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., another Marvel show that's going to be coming out, Marvel's Agent
Carter.
Agent Carter, that's it, from Peggy Carter, who was Captain America's love interest.
Yes.
So this show, I'm assuming, is going to be taking place back in the 30s.
I don't know if it's going to be after...
It's after Captain America.
Yeah, so that'd be the 40s.
Was it the 40s?
Late
Okay.
40s. Well, yeah, World War II was over in the mid-40s.
Okay. Well, I don't know my history.
Clearly.
A couple other shows that ABC has greenlit: American Crime, starring Felicity Huffman, The Whispers, which is another alien invasion show that's going to be coming out.
Is that like Lost in the woods?
I don't know. It just says an alien invasion vehicle from Amblin TV.
Interesting.
So, Forever from Warner Brothers revolves around a New York City medical examiner who happens to be immortal.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's an interesting premise.
Blackish from ABC Studios stars Anthony Anderson. So that's
Blackish?
Yeah, that's got to be a comedy. Because Anthony Anderson. Gallivant from ABC Studios, and it's from the same guy that did The Neighbors.
Oh,
so,
yeah?
It's a big swing and a musical comedy about a handsome prince out with revenge after losing his true love.
Yeah, you might like it.
Yeah, Manhattan Love Story is a rom-com about a couple that's just begun dating. Settle is from Warner Brothers TV, revolves around a self-obsessed young woman played by Karen Gillan. Oh, I got to check that one out. Trying to change her ways. Karen Gillan, since you don't know, if anybody else doesn't know, played Amy Pond in Doctor Who.
Okay.
So she was the Doctor's companion for a while.
By the way, I know this is slightly off topic, but speaking of Doctor Who and BBC, I watched now the 2nd episode of Sherlock.
You are hooked.
Yes, I am.
Because you do not because of how long those episodes are.
An hour and a half.
You do not go into the 2nd episode unless you are hooked by the first.
Yes.
That's not one of those shows that you give it a couple episodes to see if you get into it, because each episode
give it a couple episodes, you're through the first season.
Exactly, because each episode is only an hour and a half, and it's only 3 episodes per season.
Yeah.
So if you were watching the second episode, you were hooked by the first, and I say bravo, because it's
great. I mean, it's so funny.
It is a fantastic show.
The writing is perfect. And you know what? And I had realized why I couldn't... I only had seen like 1 or 2 episodes of Doctor Who, and I didn't really get into it too much. And I think it's because the production value on some of these British shows aren't as up to snuff. But the writing is so much better than a lot of shows, American shows.
Well, it's like if you compare Sherlock to Elementary on NBC or CBS, there's no comparison. Sherlock is so much better.
Yeah.
And I know it's just because some people don't get into the British shows that they don't want to check them out. And it's funny that you say you didn't get into Doctor Who, but you got into Sherlock. It's the same writer.
Is it?
Yes.
Well, that's what I mean. The writing's really good. Doctor Who uses a little more of special effects type of stuff.
And the production value of Doctor Who definitely got better by the second season. So if it was tough to get through the first season, if you got through it and got into the second season, the production value stepped up so much more in the second season.
Okay. I was going to say, because the production value on the first episode is not great.
No, it's really not. The whole first season really isn't that great when it comes to production value. You have to get about halfway through the first season before the production value steps up. And then when you go from the first season into the second season, the production value is like tenfold so much better.
Okay, and yeah, like Sherlock doesn't really need production as far as special effects or anything because it doesn't use it.
No, it's a mystery show. It's it's a detective show. But Benedict Cumberbatch is fantastic.
Oh yeah,
as Sherlock. Martin Freeman is great as Watson. It's a show. It's a great show. I'm glad you're hooked.
Yeah, I can't wait to find out who Moriarty is.
Oh yeah, definitely. Moving on to the next network, though, we're going to move on to CBS. Since that's the next one I have right here on the top of my list.
Alphabetically, makes sense.
Well, I don't know if this goes alphabetically or not. It doesn't look like it does.
Alphabetically, network-wise, A to C.
No, we would go to CW.
Why? CB?
Oh,
CW?
Oh, yeah.
Holy crap, man.
I know. It's Sunday.
Dude.
What don't you fucking understand?
Shut up.
Seriously, man, you and me, we're fucking done professional.
Starting off with How I Met Your Mother, it's over. Farewell. Two Broke Girls renewed. Bad Teacher.
Dude, I'm sorry. I have seen clips and bits of Two Broke Girls, and it just does not look great.
Yeah, I never got into it.
I'm surprised it's renewed a little bit.
So I'm not. It's got a fandom, so I'm not really.
Does it? Okay.
Surprised. Yeah. Moving on. Bad Teacher canceled already.
Really?
Yeah, it just started. There's only been like 3 episodes.
Yeah, it just started like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and it's already been canceled.
Wow, that's not good.
Friends with Better Lives was canceled.
Yeah, that tried to run off the whole How I Met Your Mother ended. Try watching this show, and nobody really got into it.
Yeah.
Even with the Beak.
Oh, that's right. Vanderbeek was in that.
Yeah, not even the Beak could save that show.
Yeah.
And those shows, it's all about writing.
It is, especially with a sitcom. I mean, sitcoms, that's absolutely what it is about.
Because the Beak should be able to pull a show. And, what's his face? The guy from, the guy from, Entourage.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I
can never remember his name.
Yeah, I can't think
I'll
of it.
think of it.
Moving on, though, Mike and Molly was renewed. Mom was renewed. Hostage is canceled. No surprise. I heard that wasn't doing that.
Kevin Connolly, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What's Hostages? I don't even know what that is.
I can't remember.
Is it about hostages?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like a cop drama type of thing?
No, I really can't remember, to be honest with you. So, that shows you how well it did.
Must have been good.
NCIS renewed. NCIS LA renewed, as well as getting a spin-off, another spin-off, greenlit for the September series of
NCIS on the Moon?
No, NCIS New Orleans.
Close.
How is it even close? Scott Bakula going to be starring in that, which I'm excited for because I like Scott Bakula. So I'm sorry, I'm staring at my window as I think the girl on my street who lives across the street from me just got a new car as a gift.
What kind?
I'm watching as her parents are like watching her reaction getting into this car. And
shouldn't she be giving them a car? It's Mother's Day.
That's a good point. I don't know.
Maybe it's her birthday or something.
Maybe it's her birthday. So, moving on, Person of Interest renewed, Elementary renewed, Survivor renewed. Good thing, because I'm going to audition again. Criminal Minds renewed. CSI renewed. It's funny, CSI, the original CSI, still on. CSI New York and CSI Miami, both off the air.
Did they get canceled, or did they just kind of stop?
Miami got canceled, and I think New York stopped.
Is that the one with Horatio?
That was Miami.
Okay.
New York was Gary Sinise, which I was really disappointed stopped, because that was probably my favorite one. It had
Gary Sinise.
It had a darker feel to it, and I just loved Gary Sinise as the lead.
I like Gary Sinise in almost anything.
Oh yeah, especially including the voice of the voice in Captain America.
Yeah, how do you not like Lieutenant Dan?
Yeah,
seriously.
Peas and carrots.
Big Bang Theory renewed for 3 more seasons.
Yeah, that's crazy. That they did 3 at a shot.
Yeah,
shows you how good or how well it's doing.
Yeah, The Millers renewed. This one I'm kind of disappointed about, because I'm a big fan of the lead guy. The Crazy Ones was canceled. That was the one.
That was a Robin Williams.
The Robin Williams and Sarah Michelle Gellar. Yeah, it was on the bubble for a while, but ended up getting canceled.
Did you watch it?
I did. I never missed an episode, and I loved it.
Was the writing good? I was gonna say
it was.
Surprised with those 2 people that it wasn't picked up.
Yeah, I loved it. So I'm really bummed that it got
yeah, that doesn't mean that another network, for all of these, essentially the ones that were canceled, that another network won't just pick it up.
Yeah, but usually they don't usually do that after first seasons.
Yeah, usually if they're on a few seasons and they have a following, then they'll pick them up.
Yeah. Surprised that it's still on the air. 2.5 Men renewed.
Really? Even season. With Ashton?
Yeah, it was so much better with Charlie. I stopped watching it after Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
In my opinion, one of the best dramas on TV right now, Hawaii Five-0, was renewed.
I want to watch that. Mainly because there's a couple people from Lost on the show.
Yes, but the show itself is so good. And the dedication and...
humor, too, right?
It's definitely humorous, especially with Scott Conn. And it's some of the stuff that they do in the show to pay tribute to vets and things like that is just... like, I've been brought to tears by certain stuff they've done in this show.
Oh, really?
Yes. I mean, especially the episode they did about Pearl Harbor and the soldiers that fought during the battle at Pearl Harbor, because it obviously takes place in Hawaii. Right. That's the one episode I can think of off the top of my head that literally brought me to tears, because it was so moving at the end. But the show is fantastic. I'm so happy that it got renewed. It's been on for 3 seasons. I hope it goes for at least 3 more. It's so good.
Yeah, I do want to check that out.
And like you said, a lot of vets from Lost have showed up. Jin, the guy that plays Jin, is a season regular. Daniel Day Kim is a cast regular. Jorge Garcia is a somewhat cast regular at this point. Terry O'Quinn has been in quite a few episodes as well. So
really,
yeah,
interesting.
Blue Bloods, which I hear is really good, renewed.
That's with Donnie Wahlberg, right?
Yes, and Tom Selleck.
The mustache.
Yes. The Amazing Race renewed. The Good Wife renewed. The Mentalist renewed. And speaking of Lost alumni, the Intelligence with Josh Holloway canceled.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a shame. I always like to see Lost vets succeed.
I do too, because I was a big fan of Lost. So.
And yeah, it was 10th anniversary of it being greenlit. 10th anniversary of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, getting the pilot.
Yeah, because it was 2005, I believe it started.
4.
Was it 2004? Okay.
Yeah, fall of 2004 was the first season.
Okay.
And then 2000, I guess 10 would have been the last, or 2009.
Got it. Moving on to the next network, we'll stay in alphabetical order, as you said, moving on with CW Network. Which actually, I mean, it has pretty much become a pretty dominant network now.
Putting out a lot of original shows.
They do, and some of them are pretty good and stand the test of time.
And some of them not so much.
Speaking of this first one, Supernatural, renewed for another season.
Yeah, that's been on for a while.
I think it's going into its 10th season? 9th or 10th season. But I mean, Smallville was another show that went for 10 years.
Yeah.
Arrow, thank God, renewed.
Yeah, we knew that was going to get
the show.
They renewed that a while ago.
The show is so damn good.
Yeah.
I hope that's another one that goes for like 10 years, as long as Supernatural and Smallville.
And Wednesday's the finale. of that, and it's like bittersweet because it's such a good show and it's building up and it's building up, but the sucky part is after it's over, you have to wait till September.
I know. But on the plus side and on the Arrow note, when we come back from our next break, into the second break, we're going to recap our interview with Celina Jade from the show. And this coming Monday, tomorrow, we have an interview with Michael Rowe from the show, who plays Deadshot.
Yeah.
So
very cool villain.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if you can call him a villain.
Yeah, he's like a half villain.
Yeah.
Watch
I'm sure
the
we'll
show.
talk to him a little bit about that, too.
Yeah.
But the
he's like a villain you like.
Yes, yeah. Vampire Diaries renewed. The Originals renewed. Reign renewed, which I'm surprised. That's pretty much a network copy of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Just tamer, because like I said, it has to be on the network.
Yeah.
The 100 renewed. Heart of Dixie renewed. Carrie Diaries canceled.
I'm glad Heart of Dixie renewed, not because I watch it, but because what's-her-face is in it. You know who I'm talking about? Rachel Bilson.
Rachel Bilson, yeah.
Yeah.
Which hopefully we'll be able to get on the show at some point.
He's great.
Beauty and the Beast renewed, which I'm happy is still on, mainly because for the same reason as Rachel Bilson. I have with Kristen Kroick from Smallville is on that show, so I'm glad it's still going just for her. Starcrossed, which I had never even heard of, canceled, and the Tomorrow People canceled.
Yeah, the Tomorrow People with Stephen Amell from Arrow, his cousin Robbie Amell.
Yeah.
I guess it didn't do too well. I'm surprised because I would have thought that a lot of Amell fans would have gone and watched it strictly because they're cousins.
Maybe. But on the note of shows being greenlit, another show I know we're excited about that we might actually focus another show on.
Spin-off.
A spin-off of Arrow, The Flash, which they set up on Arrow. So really excited for that, too.
Yeah, Grant Gustin. I believe there is going to be a trailer coming out this week for that.
I'm hoping.
For the first episode. I'm pretty sure I saw something on that. I'm not positive. The Carrie Diaries got canceled, too. I don't know if you mentioned that.
I did.
Okay.
I did mention that.
I wanted to comment because that was a terrible idea.
Yeah, I agree with you completely.
Which, if you're unfamiliar, was basically Sex and the City. It's the character from Sex and the City, but when she was younger.
Yeah, when she was, I think, in high school.
Yeah, it's so dumb. I'm not surprised it got canceled.
All right, let's move on. We got 2 more networks to go, and then we're going to take a break. Or no, then we're going to do Next Level News, and then we're going to take a break.
Then we'll take a break.
But we have Fox, which is a pretty big network, and they do put on a lot of good shows. Starting off with Sleepy Hollow, great show, renewed.
Good, because I want to try and get somebody from that.
Yes,
show.
I know you want to try and get on, and I'd be really excited to talk to him because he's from another show from Fox that we really enjoyed.
Correct.
Moving on, Bones renewed for another season. Glee, thought was over this season, but apparently renewed.
Yeah, I guess they're doing one more.
Yeah, I guess.
Let's hope it's the last one.
The Simpsons renewed, longest running comedy on TV.
They can't cancel that show at this point. You know what I mean? Like, it has to be something where the producers and stuff go, okay, Fox, this is going to be our last season.
Yeah. Like,
Fox can't go up to The Simpsons and be like, hey, you guys are canceled.
It'll be a tough day if that ever happens.
Yeah, people would point.
MasterChef and MasterChef Junior both renewed, which I'm happy for because I do watch them. Bob's Burgers renewed. Family Guy, which was actually on the bubble, renewed.
By the way, before we move too far, Bob's Burgers, when it came out and I first saw it, I was like, it looks kind of dumb, but apparently it's gotten great reception. I'm pretty sure it was, wasn't it nominated for an award or something like that?
I've never seen it, so I don't really know.
I can't remember, but the guy who does the voice of Archer in Archer, H. John Benjamin, he does the voice of Bob on Bob's Burgers, and his voice is fantastic. I mean, some people are just blessed with an awesome voice for like voiceovers and stuff, and he's one of them.
The Following was renewed, which I've heard is a really good show. I just need to get caught up.
In my Netflix queue.
This one I'm really bummed about because I really enjoyed this show. Almost Human was canceled.
Yeah, that's a JJ show, right?
Yeah, JJ. 2 out of 3 of his shows got canceled. He really didn't do from his production company. Really didn't do too well.
But the fact that he had 3 new shows on shows a lot about his past and what people will will do to have his
Oh yeah.
He goes to a network and says, "Hey, I want to do this," and they're like, "Yes, we'll take it. We don't even have to read the script." We'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. Dads, which was the Seth MacFarlane produced with Giovanni Ribisi and Seth Green, canceled.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine renewed. That show is hysterical.
Yeah, I knew that was getting renewed.
Well, it won the Emmy.
Yes, I was gonna say that did win an award.
Yeah, that won the Emmy. You're not going to cancel an Emmy award-winning show.
No.
The Mindy Project renewed. New Girl renewed. American Idol renewed, which their finale picking the winners next week.
Yeah.
Not this week coming, but next week they're going to be picking the winner.
Don't say who got voted off this week, because we didn't see it yet.
Oh, it's down in the top 3.
I know Andrea has it.
And I will tell you, the 2 people I picked to be the top 2 are still in it.
Okay, well, I know one of them then.
Yeah.
I'll have to think of the other one.
Raising Hope, I was really bummed because I loved that show. Canceled. It was from the same writers and producers that did My Name is Earl. And the show was hysterical to me. So I was really bummed. And I know you were bummed about this one, Enlisted. Canceled.
Yeah, we talked about that, yeah.
American Dad, not canceled, moving to TBS.
Yeah,
So,
not surprised.
nope.
They show Family Guy, don't they? TBS?
They do.
Don't
They
they-
show. Yeah, they have
show-
the syndication rights to Family Guy.
Reruns, yeah.
Yeah. Rake, you called this one canceled.
Yeah.
Surviving Jack canceled, and the
Kind of bummed about that one. I saw the first couple episodes of that, too, and I thought it was pretty funny. And I like Chris Maloney, who plays the dad.
Oh yeah, okay, I know what show that is.
The
now.
Christopher Maloney show.
Yeah. When you said Christopher Maloney, I knew which one it was. And the X Factor canceled, which that was a while ago. So
Yeah,
that's not really a big surprise. The one show that Fox greenlit that I am really anticipating, I'm really looking forward to, Gotham.
Yes.
Which there
Watch
is
the
already.
trailer.
Yeah, there is already a trailer out for that, so check that out. And the final network, which I know had a couple disappointments, at least ones that disappointed me, and a couple that didn't really disappoint me, didn't surprise me at all. NBC. Starting off with The Blacklist, no surprise, renewed. However, moving from Monday nights to Thursday nights when it comes back in September.
The Blacklist?
The Blacklist, yeah.
Monday to Thursday. Okay.
Yeah.
At least it's not Friday.
James Spade, yeah, Friday's like a death nail.
Yeah. Which, you know what? Fringe was on Friday for a lot of years, and still, you know what I mean? They still were renewed for 5 seasons. I mean, they had 5 seasons, and they were on Friday for most of the time.
Yeah. James Spader is just fantastic in The Blacklist. It's one of my
he's
favorite.
going to be in the Avengers, too.
I know. He's going to be the villain in Avengers 2.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. The Voice, no surprise, renewed. The Biggest Loser as well, renewed. Chicago Fire and Chicago PD, both renewed.
Good to see.
Yeah. Especially after we spoke with Joe Minoso from Chicago Fire. Dracula, canceled. This one I'm kind of bummed about. Revolution, canceled. So
That was on NBC?
that was on NBC, yeah.
Yeah, I watched the first season. Most of the first season, I stopped watching it. This was only the second season, right?
This was the second season, yeah.
Yeah.
Law and Order SVU renewed. Parks and Rec renewed for a final season.
Number 7, right?
Yes. The Michael J. Fox Show, I called this one, canceled.
Yeah.
Along with Sean Saves the World was also canceled.
I don't even know what that is.
That's the one with Sean Hayes. It premiered this year, and so it was still only its first season.
Okay.
Parenthood renewed for a final season. Grimm renewed, which was good because we talked to Claire
Also
Coffey.
good to hear, yeah.
Hannibal renewed. Oh, Dracula's on here twice. Canceled. Believe we
In
called.
case you didn't believe.
Yeah, in
it
case
the
you missed it
first
the
time.
first time. Believe canceled. We
Yeah,
kind of felt that
we
one coming.
Yeah, we both saw that come. That was one of JJ's again.
Yeah. About a Boy renewed. Growing Up Fisher canceled. Crisis canceled. And the biggest disappointment to me, Community
Yep.
canceled. So bummed about that. I absolutely love that show. It was probably my favorite sitcom on television.
Well, explain why it's such a kind of kick in the balls to the show.
To the show and to the fans. I saved it for last because I kind of had a feeling we were going to go into it a little bit. There's been a big trend in the movie or in the show lately that they've been pushing for because they've been on the bubble the past couple years, but every year the show has gotten renewed. But there's been a big trend and a big movement, and it's hashtag 6 seasons and a movie. Basically because they wanted to do 6 seasons of the show and then do a film, a community movie to kind of wrap it all up and close it off. Because the whole show is about them being in community college. So obviously you can't go on forever about a bunch of kids in community college.
Right.
So they were going to do 6 seasons and then a movie. And the whole trend of the 6 seasons in a movie started towards the end of season 4, but was really pushed through all of season 5. So they were so close to getting to that 6 seasons in a movie. All NBC had to do was greenlight them for one more season, and then they would have never had to worry about Community again because they were going to wrap it up with the movie. So to let them get that far and then cancel it right before they got to that goal is a huge kick in the face to the fans of that show and to the writers of that show.
Yeah, and I had mentioned to you the other day that I could very easily see TBS picking that up for like a season.
And that's what the hope is. There's hope that the show is going to get... they're going to shop the show because it's Sony. So there's kind of hope that Sony is going to shop it to some other networks so that they can get that last season in.
Yeah, that does have TBS written all over it.
I mean, because Scrubs was one of those shows that did the same thing too. ABC canceled it, and then before Scrubs had a chance to give it a finale, ABC canceled it, and then, or was it NBC that canceled it, and then ABC picked it up? NBC canceled Scrubs, and then ABC picked it up for one more year so that Scrubs could do that final season and give it the finale it deserved.
And then it did another season, didn't it, after that?
Yeah, but we don't talk about that. That is
pretend it never happened.
That is the season that shall not be named because that was horrible.
The worst season ever.
Yes, but so another NBC show that is greenlit for this coming fall that I know I'm looking forward to. The trailer for it was just released today. Constantine, which I don't know if you got the chance to see that trailer yet, but it actually looks pretty badass.
No, which one's?
It's another DC Comics come to life.
Oh, is it?
So, you ever seen the movie Constantine with Keanu Reeves?
No, I wanted to, but I try and avoid Keanu Reeves movies.
It actually wasn't that bad. It could have been better, but it wasn't that bad. It's pretty much based off the comic Hellraiser and the comic and the character of Hellraiser, who was I think it was Hellraiser. I think that's what it was. But basically, he is somebody who can see the afterlife, and he fights demons and things like that because he can see them.
Okay.
So, but the trailer is released, and the trailer looks pretty badass. We'll post it on the website.
Yeah, I'll have to watch the trailer.
Yeah, we'll post that on the website. We'll post the Gotham trailer on the website as well. I don't know if there were any other ones that I had that were going to be coming out. If I wrote them down. I think I wrote them down. Hang on. The only other one I saw that I know I'm looking forward to is a comedy that CBS greenlit. They're bringing back The Odd Couple.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's Matthew Perry and Tom Lennon. And both guys are hysterical. Matthew Perry hasn't had much luck lately since Friends with his shows, but his shows have been great. For some reason, they just don't get the ratings.
Yeah.
And, so I'm really pushing for this one because I like Tom Lennon too, and Tom Lennon's hysterical. So the two of them together should be pretty good. Plus, you already have the storyline build up with the odd
guy. The guy from the Beatles is in that? I thought he was dead.
That's John Lennon.
Oh, okay.
This is Tom Lennon.
Brother? Related?
No related.
No
relations. No related.
Have to do my fact checking.
Kaputnus.
Yes.
All right, let's we're gonna take a break, but before we take a break, what do you say we hit the next level news?
This is Next Level News.
I only have like 2 stories here.
Do you want me to start then?
Most of them we had mentioned. So,
all right, I'll start because I have 3, so we'll go one and one. Starting off first, Apple close to buying Beats. Actually, it's pretty much sealed now at this point, but buying Beats Electronics for the sum of $3.2 billion.
Jeez.
So it's something else that Apple can put their name on that is absolute garbage.
Yeah.
Actually, Beats is a good product. I've used Beats before, and
isn't it a little overpriced?
Yes,
though?
That's exactly why they fit well with Apple. Is they're extremely overpriced for what they are.
Yes, you love your Apple.
Oh, yeah.
NBC nabs Olympic rights through 2032. The IOC, this came out a few days ago, I think on Wednesday it looked like, awarded NBC Universal the broadcast rights to the USA Olympics through 2032. Kind of actually glad because, I mean, I know most networks have a bunch of channels, but NBC seems to run them pretty well, the Olympics, when they have them on. And they have now NBC Sports, MSNBC, CNBC, regular NBC, and I think a couple other ones that they show these on.
Awesome. Moving on. Cyclops, Storm, and Jean Grey set to return for X-Men Apocalypse. Although Bryan Singer recently confirmed that X-Men Apocalypse would be set in the 80s, just who the mutants would consist of outside the returning first-class cast members of Charles Xavier, Beast, Mystique, and Magneto has remained something of a question mark. It's been speculated that the characters of Cyclops, Storm, and Jean Grey, obviously in younger teenage incarnations, would be introduced in this movie. And now Bryan Singer has pretty much confirmed it.
So this, I guess then, this new movie coming out next week is going to kind of give closure to the other timeline, I guess.
I believe so, yeah.
And then everything else will continue on the new one, First Class.
Yes.
It's almost like a reboot then.
Well, that's what First Class was meant to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I never realized they were going to, until, a few months ago, that they were going to commingle.
Yeah.
But I don't remember if you said you had this one on, so sorry if you said you did, but we had talked about Community. Netflix is not going to be picking up Community despite social media campaign. So I guess there was a big social media thing trying to get Netflix to pick it up, but they have said they will not be picking it up.
I'm not too bummed about that, mainly because of the fact that it's on Hulu, and Hulu did buy the rights to Community. Okay. That actually just came out a couple weeks ago, so they did buy the rights to Community. So they're still going to keep Community, even though Community's going off the air. But I own all the DVDs, so I'm not worried about it. Yeah, and I love the DVDs because it's got all the behind the scenes stuff and absolutely hysterical gag reels.
I thought, let me double check. I thought this was to pick it up for the next season, but you might be right as far as just being, you know what I mean? Like, because now that Netflix has its own original series and stuff.
Well, they did that with Arrested Development, so yeah, that could have been something.
No, I guess it is just requesting the streaming of the show.
That's what I would think, is so that people can binge watch it.
But that would be another idea for them to actually pick it up for the last season.
Well, if they're not going to pick up the rights to stream it, they're not going to do a series on it.
No.
And last but not least for Next Level News, I'm really digging this story. Lionsgate sets Power Rangers movie as franchise starter. They are rebooting the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Lionsgate and Saban Brands are partnering to develop and produce a live-action movie based on Saban's Power Rangers property as the first film in the franchise.
And you know what? The original, when we were the first season that was out when we were kids, is on Netflix. It's on Netflix, so I actually think I might go back and watch it.
Dude, I did. I have gone back and rewatched. I've gone back and rewatched all the original ones up until they went, I think, Power Rangers Turbo, because at that point, then it was really starting to get dumb.
I remember seeing the first Power Rangers movie.
So do I. I saw it in theaters.
Yeah. And it's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. All the other ones were like Power Rangers this, Power Rangers that.
Well, they went to Power Ranger. They were Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and then they went to Power Rangers Zeo.
Yeah,
which was good.
There's a bunch of different ones.
Power Rangers Ninja, and then Power Rangers Turbo.
And if you're from the Philadelphia area, Jason David Frank, who played Tommy Oliver, a.k.a. the Green Ranger, a.k.a. the White Ranger, will be at Philadelphia Comic-Con this June.
Yes, and I'm trying to book an interview with him.
That would be cool.
Should be awesome. He's an MMA fighter now.
Yeah, which is crazy.
So
everybody, and I'm sure you were the same, had a crush on the
Kimberly.
Yeah, Kimberly Hart.
Well, it'd be funny because they can't bring everybody back because Trini's dead.
She died like 14 years ago
in a car accident. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Billy's gay.
Is he?
Yeah. Oh, come on. You couldn't tell that just from the show?
What is this, like a, for all the people who couldn't tell that Freddie Mercury was? Is it like that kind of thing?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. If you didn't know Freddie Mercury was gay.
I just thought he was nerdy. I didn't think he was like gay.
No, he came out.
Not that it matters. Is he? His name's Billy Cranston on the show.
No. Oh, on the show?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe. Really. I never knew what his last name was.
Yeah, Cranston.
I just knew Kimberly was cute.
Oh, yeah.
So, but all right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we are going to have Bob from the 24-hour game show marathon coming on to tell us a little bit about that charity. We're going to go over some other TV shows on the list of shows that are gone but not forgotten. Weird of the week. And we'll tell you a little bit about some interviews that we've got coming up. So we'll take a break, and we will be back in a few minutes. Hang tight.
Free rugala?
No, thank you. I am here for something else.
Bread?
Something hot.
We have rolls that just came out.
Even hotter. Much hotter.
I already have boyfriend.
All right.
Although I could make exception.
No, that's...
Sure.
Okay.
Flour sacks in back, very comfortable.
I don't think we are on the same page.
Welcome back to the Next Level Showcast here on Next Level Radio. Little sound clip before we came in with Get Smart with Steve Carell. That's one
Underrated.
of those. It's one of those movies. Yeah, it's very underrated because I was a fan of the TV show, and it's one of those old school shows that you absolutely. I absolutely loved it, and I was when I saw the trailer for it, I knew. I was a little worried when I heard they were making it, but when I saw the trailer and I saw Steve Carell, I was like, okay, this is going to do the show justice.
And Anne Hathaway's in it.
And Anne Hathaway is
hard to go wrong there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But speaking of old school television, there's this really cool event coming up next weekend that we're going to bring somebody in to talk about. It is a 24-hour game show marathon, and it is to raise money for Children's Hospital right here in Philadelphia. I love this concept, especially if you're a game show fanatic. But, let's bring him in to talk about some details. Welcome to the show, Bob Hagh. Bob, how you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on the show tonight.
Yeah, no problem. So, I know I've talked to you already a little bit in advance, and I've told you I love this idea. But for those of people who are listening or are going to check out the podcast, explain a little bit more about what this charity is and how it's going to work.
Okay, so pretty much this is about third year we're doing this. So it's my two friends, Corey Anatato and Chris Carrion, and myself, obviously. We play 24 different game shows for 24 hours straight, so one game show per hour. And a lot of these game shows are ones you've seen on TV, not only in the last couple of years, but even some of the past 10, 20, 50 years possibly. And also some shows that are from overseas, primarily in the UK, that not a lot of us here in America know about. And there are some fun games that we're going to play. And pretty much it's just the three of us, a couple of friends coming also, playing these games, and then throughout the show, throughout the event, we get some social media messages out to the public, and we always accept donations throughout the entire event. And like you said, this year, all our donations will be going to the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, a great cause, and we're looking forward to helping out a lot of children just by playing some games for 24 hours.
Yeah, absolutely. I've looked at the list, too, that because your schedule is up on your website, which is Game Show Network, or GameShowMarathon.com.
Correct. Yeah.
And I watched the video, like that. You guys have a great intro video that's right on there that goes through the rundown of all the shows you're going to do, and you're going to do that night throughout that 24 hours. A lot of them I've heard of, but there's quite a few in there I've never heard of before. And I thought I was a fan.
Well, like you said, a lot of shows that we're playing this year include Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. We have Family Feud. We also have the Pyramid Game, Minute to Win It. We also have games called Just a Minute, which is a panel game from England. Also, PDQ. This is a show back in about the 60s, I believe. It's a word game where you have to figure out words by not having vowels in them. You just give them consonants. And also Golden Balls. Yeah, Golden Balls.
Yeah, I'm afraid to ask what that's about.
Oh no, it's just a game where you're given these golden balls with random cash values inside, and some of them contain no money, and some of them contain amounts that can kick you out of the game. So your job is to lie and deceive amongst the rest of your team members to say, hey, I have the most money available, keep me in the game, or I don't have a lot of money available, you should probably kick me out. It's one of those games where you have to, kind of poker face, but also be a little deceiving to win big. So a lot of games from the list are from like a trivia to general to just plain luck games to just fun games like Minute to Win It, or piano games like At Midnight that we're also playing.
Yeah, I was really excited to see you guys had At Midnight on there, because that's currently one of my favorite shows that I watch pretty much every night of the week. And anybody who plays that game when you do this 24-hour marathon, I'm anxious, because you're going to be really on your game when it comes to that game.
We do, yeah. I started writing, because I'm hosting At Midnight, actually. So I started writing some of the material.
Oh, you have the easy job when it comes to that game.
Oh, I do. Well, I have to be snarky like Chris Hardwick. I have to be a little quick on my feet.
Yeah.
When I do this, but I'm looking forward to. Hey, look, it's At Midnight, so we have that safe harbor in effect. So we have a little fun with the material, but I think it's gonna be fun to think outside the box and just have a little fun, have a couple of laughs during the event.
So all of you guys are basically doing this 24 hours straight. Like nobody ever has a break.
Correct. So between Chris, Corey, and myself, if one of us is not hosting, we're playing the game. But for 24 hours, the three of us are always involved.
Wow.
People will come down. Yeah.
I know that I've done, like I had done, and I think Ben had mentioned before to me that he had done like the what's the cancer one, the walk.
Oh, the Relay for Life problem?
Yeah, Relay for Life. For some reason I can remember. We've both done that, and that's 24 hours usually too. And I am always dead tired. How the hell do you have the frame of mind to play games when you're on, like, not sleeping in about 22 hours?
Pretty much it's food, caffeine, and pretzel sticks. And this year we're next to a Wawa, so that's going to help us out get some food.
Oh, yeah, that's really convenient.
Yes.
Now, what are you going to do in the case of, like, At Midnight? Because At Midnight's only a half-hour game. Are you going to do, like, 2 editions of that?
Yeah, so pretty much the way it's going to work is all the games we play will be at the top of the hour, and they should last about 40, 45 minutes, so there's some setup time for the next game.
Okay.
So for At Midnight, because it's a half-hour format, we'll probably add a couple of more mini games, like maybe a couple of more hashtag wars, maybe some other games in the format.
Well, for games like Jeopardy, how hard are the questions? Is it like celebrity Jeopardy type of questions or legit Jeopardy type of questions?
No, we try to go to as close as possible to the actual show. So the questions that I ask on Jeopardy, which I've known for the past 2 years, are ones that you would find on the program. They're at that same level. Yeah.
All right, so for anybody who wants to get involved and be a part of this, what different ways can people be involved? Because I know if they can't be there physically, you do have a way for people that are going to be able to stream it live for that 24 hours.
Exactly. So if you go to our website, gameshowmarathon.com, you can view the live stream. You can donate to the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia also on that link. And then on social media with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, if you just use our handle 24 HOUR-GFM, 24-hour GFM. You'll find us on social media for some updates. And throughout the broadcast, we're actually going to talk to some of the people on social media, get some of their tweets, Facebook posts, and read them out loud during the show.
Now, you're going to have people that are physically there as well as contestants? Or is it mainly going to be social media?
So for the contestants, they're primarily going to be in studio. If we do want to get someone last minute, like maybe for a quick shout out to social media for something, we may use Google Hangout. But the reason why we decided to go mostly toward a live contestant atmosphere this time around is because we wanted to create a real game show experience. We have the live players, and we have a live studio audience. So I think that's going to create some of the excitement. But just because you're not there doesn't mean you cannot get involved with the Game Show Marathon. So if you talk to us through social media, we will talk back and get your words out there over the stream.
And that starts Saturday at noon, right? Next Saturday?
Correct. Yep. So this Saturday, which is the 17th at noon, going until noon on the 18th. That's Sunday.
And you want to encourage people to come out and actually be a member of the studio audience, even if they don't play.
Yeah, I know we're getting close to capacity, so obviously we just can't let anyone in because it's a fire hazard.
Yeah.
If something goes wrong,
get the fire marshal showing up.
Yeah. That's the last thing we need during Deal or No Deal, someone to come in barging through a door.
Yeah.
We have to shut you guys down.
Yeah, but if there's a slot open here and there, we'll probably send out some texts to some friends and let them know. But yeah.
Well, it seems like it's getting great reception and stuff like that if you guys are almost at capacity for, having people in studio. So I know your goal is $2,500. Hopefully, you can achieve far and beyond that.
Absolutely. I mean, my goal is like maybe $5,000, but any money that gets donated to us, it all goes to the hospital, and as long as we get those donations in, that's what we care about the most.
Yeah. Now, I assume one final question I had for you too, Bob, is anybody who actually comes out or who is already scheduled to be there and plays the game. Obviously, since you're trying to raise money for charity, you're just playing these games for fun. You're not really you're not going to win anything. It's pretty much just for bragging rights.
Correct. Yeah. So a lot of games are for bragging rights, and someone last year said we should keep a tally of fake game show money to see who actually wins the whole thing. So someone may actually do that. One of the dedicated viewers may keep track of the game show money. But we had a couple of surprises this year where each year, Deal or No Deal, we play towards the end of the marathon. And that's a real cash money game where any money won during it will go to the charity. So we have a couple of surprises this year that maybe we'll have some more of those games where people will come in, play for money, but that money actually goes to the charity. So we're looking forward to that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So, all right, well, we want to encourage everybody to check out your website, gameshowmarathon.com, and from there's links to your Facebook and your Twitter. We want everybody to go there and follow you on Twitter, follow you on Facebook, because we want everybody to be a part of this, even if they just donate. If they don't have a chance to watch or anything, we want people to go out and donate. It's a great cause.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So
yeah, definitely going to watch, though. I love Jeopardy, so I usually watch it every night. So 1 o'clock, I will definitely be tuning in.
Yeah, I mean, please tune in at 2 o'clock in the morning to see how we're actually still doing this. And maybe you'll laugh at us.
So. I'll see you guys taking your caffeine hits at that point.
Yeah.
So I know I talked to you a little bit earlier. I'm definitely going to come out and lend a hand and see what I can do in different ways. So, Bob, we're going to let you go, but I will definitely be in touch with you later on this week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
So, all right, thanks for coming on. Everybody check out www.gameshowmarathon.com for more details and follow them on Twitter and Facebook. Bob, we're going to disconnect, but we'll talk to you later on.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, so that was Bob Hagh with the 24-hour game show marathon. Yeah. It's a cool cause. I definitely dig it.
It is a great cause, yeah. Without a doubt.
Any money that goes to Children's Hospital is great, and like you said, hopefully they can go past that $2,500.
Yeah, and you and I had both heard them on a local radio station that gets a lot of listeners, so I think they'll be able to go over.
Yeah, I think so too. And like I said, like I told him, I'm definitely going to go out and be a part of that. So I know we're running short on time, so I don't know if we're going to be able to get to that list of shows that are gone.
Well, we can try to squeeze some.
I can just run down the list real quick because I know we got to recap our Celina Jade interview and we got to do the Weird of the Week, and we only have about 15 minutes. So
yeah, go ahead, run it down.
But real quick,
can I guess a couple?
What's that?
Can I guess a couple?
Yeah. If you want to guess a couple.
Well, I know one is already on there because I guessed it earlier, but Firefly.
Firefly, absolutely on there. Yeah.
Now you and I was gonna guess it, but I think you had mentioned Community's on there, even though it had like 6 seasons.
It is not.
Oh, it's not on there. Okay.
No, because like I said, when they say gone too soon, I think 1, 2, maybe 3 seasons, and then they canceled it.
Is Flash Forward on there?
Flash Forward is not on here.
Okay, because I watched the first season. It was pretty good, and it ended in a great way for a second season, and nobody ever picked it up.
Yeah, I don't know. But
Dominic Monaghan was in that show.
That is not in it. Yes, he was. I do remember it. I don't think I watched all the way through, but I do remember it being
Are any current shows, like any that just got canceled?
No, these are all shows that... Well, there is one show on here that just got canceled that is on this list.
Oh, which one?
The Michael J. Fox show, which I don't agree with.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that good.
All right, well, that's all my guesses, so I guess you can run down the list.
I'll run down the list real quick. Some of them I agree with, some of them I don't. Happy Endings on ABC. Southland, which ran for 5 seasons. That's not going too soon. That had its run.
Yeah.
Pushing Daisies on ABC, which I loved. That went for 2 seasons. Sports Night, another ABC show. Jericho, which ran for 1 season and 6 additional episodes just to give it closure.
Yeah. That one I agree with, not because I've seen it, but it's like a cult classic type of show. Right?
It is, and I loved it. So I was really excited when they actually brought it back to give it that little bit of closure.
Right.
Twin Peaks, which was an ABC show. Rome on HBO. Star Trek, which only ran for 3 seasons.
Which one? The original?
The original.
Really?
Only ran for 3 seasons on NBC.
Interesting.
Deadwood on HBO. Better Off Ted on ABC. Life, an NBC show, which I agree. I actually really liked that show. In Treatment, which was an HBO show. The LA Complex on CW. Veronica Mars and Arrested Development, which Arrested Development actually came back for a season.
That's still on. Yeah, it's on Netflix now, isn't it?
Yeah. Outsourced on NBC. Freaks and Geeks, another big one I know. That's a big fan favorite.
We just finished watching that on Netflix. It had a huge cast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
At that time it wasn't, but when you look back.
Oh, yeah.
Huge cast.
Yeah. My So-Called Life, which was another one. And Journeyman, which was another NBC show.
And Grey's Anatomy.
And Grey's Anatomy is still on.
For like 11 seasons.
Yeah. It shouldn't be on anymore. It's going on way too long. Friends ran for 10 seasons.
Yeah, that's a good run.
Smallville. The Simpsons. Gone too soon.
Yeah.
What's it, like 27 seasons?
Rest in peace, Simpsons. That's a lot.
So, all right, let's recap.
Quickly do this Celina Jade interview. And I hate to cut it quick because she was great to talk to.
No, if we go a little bit past 8, that's fine. I just don't want to go too far.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of shows are wrapped up already. Like, I know Resurrection's not.
Well, it's a 2-hour finale of Once Upon a Time at 8, so I kind of want to catch that.
Nah, forget you.
So, but if we run like 5 minutes over, it's fine.
Yeah, anyone listening on the podcast doesn't care.
No, not at all. But we had the opportunity to speak to Celina Jade, who plays Shadow in the CW network show Arrow, which Adam and I we've mentioned it numerous times. We are huge fans of. So we were really excited to speak with her. She was really cool to talk to. You can tell she seems, at least the oh my God, why can't I think of the damn word?
Interview.
I got the impression that she was. She's very young. Even though she's not. I think she's like 27. 26
That's young.
27? I know.
Yeah.
Well, compared to me, the old head over here. I have garage doors that close better than Pavelbaum.
27, 28, something like that.
Sorry, it's an inside joke from our game night the other night.
Yeah. But yeah, she's pretty young.
Yeah, she was really cool to talk to. But you have a couple clips that I know I sent you over.
Yeah, I do. This first one is about how she started acting in a young age.
Honestly, I really never quite expected to get a lead role at such a young age. I never even really expected to get into acting. At the time, I had signed a record label, a record contract in Hong Kong, and my manager asked me if I wanted to audition for this kung fu flick. And he said, well, because you fight, right? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, well, go ahead, audition for it. The chances of you getting it are almost next to nothing. But go for it anyway. So I did. And when they called me and said that I'd gotten the role, I was actually more scared than anything. because for one, I wasn't very confident about my own acting skills. And two, I knew that if I didn't do very well, this was forever going to be on the internet and for people's access. So it was pretty nerve-wracking. But, as soon as I got it, I quickly went and started, taking regular training in martial arts. I trained for 3 months, I think, 6 days a week, and did acting classes and basically threw myself into the deep end and hoped and prayed that I would swim.
Yeah, obviously she did a good job because she's done several things after that and now is in Arrow.
And has another movie coming out, I think 2015, next year.
Yeah.
So that I think she had...
Was it called Skin something?
Oh, yeah, I can't remember. But I know, I think she filmed it in... Oh, I can't remember. It's somewhere overseas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's not an American... Well, it's an American film, but not filmed in America.
But not filmed in America, yeah, it was filmed overseas. It's got a good cast, too.
Skin Trade, yeah.
Yeah.
Very good cast, yeah. I know Ron Perlman's in it.
Hellboy.
Yeah. Tony Jaa, who she actually mentioned in the interview.
Yeah.
Okay, and this last clip, or the second clip I have, and last clip, talks about Arrow. We had mentioned, and if you if you are a fan of Arrow and you haven't seen the second season or aren't caught up, spoiler alert, her character dies.
But you still see her in the show. It's not the end of her character.
She pops up a bunch of times as like a hallucination type of deal, or like a subconscious type of thing. So this is her explaining how she was kind of honored by Shadow's death.
Actually, I think it was a great honor to be like a really central character to the storyline, because if it weren't for Shadow's death, Slade and Oliver wouldn't become these huge arch enemies. And as an actress, the fact that I get to play Slade's evil subconsciousness is really cool, because Shadow in Oliver's memory is a nice and she's like a fair person, and she's very crap. Why am I thinking in Chinese? Sorry. She's like the good guy, Whereas when Shadow is played by Slade, when she's Slade's evil subconscious, I get to play a very, very, very different side of her, which is Slade's memory of her, which also kind of encompasses some of Slade's characteristics and thinking patterns. So I think it's cool. I mean, yeah, it is sad that she died. The fans have been really cool. They've been tweeting on Twitter, "Bring back Shadow," and I think writers really have kind of heard their voices. And even though Shadow's dead, she's the longest living dead person right now on television.
Yeah, I mean, she really does. In the show, she had played kind of 3 different Shadows: the real Shadow, Oliver's subconscious of Shadow, and then Slade's subconscious.
Slade's, yeah. And all 3 different people.
Yeah, very different and very cool. But she and I kind of thought about this after she had answered that. This whole season is kind of because of her.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Her character. Without her, none of this happens. This entire season.
Yeah, I agree with that completely.
Which is, like she said, very cool, and obviously she's honored by that, so that's really neat.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a great interview. We loved talking to her. She cut a promo for us just like everybody else did. And tomorrow, or Monday, depending on when you're listening to this, because it'll probably have passed already, or actually tonight if you're listening to this tomorrow on iTunes.
Or yesterday if you're listening.
I know, I'm just confusing the hell out of myself now.
Seriously.
It's like Doc Brown. Great stuff.
Or last week if you're listening on Monday the 19th.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just say Monday the 12th.
Yes.
We're actually going to be speaking to another cast member of Arrow, which we're going to be, which we're really excited to talk to. Michael Rowe, who plays Deadshot.
Yeah,
we're going to be doing that live or via podcast if you missed the live broadcast.
We'll do it live.
So that should be a good time. You have an interview set up that you're going to be doing on Friday. I'm going to try and get in on that interview, but if I can, I know for sure you're going to do it. So
Ben doesn't like doing radio, so he's probably not going to. No, I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, we're going to be talking to at about 1:20 in the afternoon. We'll do it live as well for that one, too.
We'll do it live!
Will Eubank, the director of the movie The Signal, which is a new Lawrence Fishburne movie coming out June 20th. So we'll do that at 1:20 live. It'll be about 10 minutes, so turn it on while you're at work or something, and if you miss it, we'll podcast it for you anyway.
Yeah, that should be a pretty good interview.
Yeah, definitely.
I know next week we're going to be setting up a date to finalize a date with Pete Mitchell from the band No More Kings. He's going to come on to promote. He's going to promote their next album, which I'm thrilled about because I've been a fan of his for a long time. So we'll get him on. We'll be talking to him next week, as well as we'll see who else we can get. We're always getting somebody, even though
we might be able to squeeze in another Arrow person before the finale on Wednesday. Maybe.
That's going to be tough because that finale's on Wednesday.
Yeah, so maybe Tuesday or Wednesday we might be able to squeeze another person in.
Be awesome.
Yeah. And we are also screening The Signal.
Yeah, Thursday.
So we'll since it doesn't come out till June, normally if we'd screen it and it came out like a week after, we'd wait a week and do it, but since it doesn't come out till June, we might have to do it next week so we don't forget.
Talk the movie?
Yeah, review it. Although next week we'll be reviewing. Oh, we gotta talk about Godzilla.
God, I completely forgot. We have that interview next week too.
Yeah, let me do the weird of the week quick, and we'll talk about that.
Okay, yeah.
I only have 2 stories. So.
Okay, that works.
And now the Next Level Showcast presents the Weird of the Week.
All right, up first for the Weird of the Week. As you know, a lot of students had to take finals this week for college and high school and all that stuff. Apparently, some students decided to post an ad for a hitman in order to avoid taking finals.
What?
2 students at the University of Georgia did not wish to die, only to be injured severely enough so they could skip their finals. So they listed for a hitman. Sorry, they listed for a hitman to hire on Craigslist to hire a hitman to hurt themselves.
Okay, that's like calling in a bomb threat to get out of an exam.
Yeah, it's like, why wouldn't you just do it to yourself anyway?
Yeah.
Like, what's the point? According to an advertisement posted by Craigslist, 2 female University of Georgia students requested a hitman to run them over with a car. They explicitly said they did not want to die, just simply be, quote, injured enough to get out of taking our finals here at UGA. Their compensation would be hitting 2 lovely ladies with by a vehicle with permission. Not even money.
What? That's retarded.
That's cheap.
Yeah.
You want to miss your finals, you got to pay. Last one, pilot who crashed his plane into a home was its former owner. Pilot who survived a crash into a home near Denver this week used to live in the house, but so far connection seems to be a coincidence. So this guy crashed into a house he had formerly owned, but not even on purpose. Like he had crashed his plane, later realizing that it was a home he used to own.
He didn't like the lawn gnomes they put on the lawn.
Yeah. He didn't like their Christmas decorations.
No, that they still had up in May.
Being up in May. Yeah, so that's all I have for the Weird of the Week, so we can wrap that up since we're running out of time.
Yeah, not a too weird of a week.
No, you know what? Not too bad.
So
not too bad at all. There is hope for humanity.
Yeah, but as I said, Pete Mitchell next. Not this week, but next week. This week we have Michael Rowe. Tomorrow we have you have the director of
Will Eubanks. Yeah.
Will Eubanks on Friday. We're going to get to see Godzilla and review Godzilla on Sunday show. But I completely forgot. We have an interview with one of the cast members of the movie, and not like a small supporting cast member. Like he's a main character of this movie. So
very, very large character.
It's only going to be for about 5 minutes. It's not a long interview, and unfortunately, we're not allowed to do it live. So we're going to record the interview, and we're going to replay the entire interview on the show on Sunday.
We'll do it live.
But we're not telling anybody who it is because it's definitely a major player in the movie. It's one of the larger characters in the movie. So it's one of the larger actors in the movie. So we're going to keep it a secret because we want you to tune into the show in order to hear it. Because the only way you're going to find out who it is if you tune in live on Sunday.
Yeah, I'd say the biggest actor in the movie.
And there's some big actors in this movie.
Yes.
So I mean, could be Bryan Cranston. Could be I can't remember.
Could be anybody.
Could be anybody. It could be anybody. But we're not telling you who it is. It's going to remain a secret. You're going to have to tune in next Sunday to the Showcast. As
could be the guy in the suit.
It could be the guy in the suit. What suit?
Godzilla.
The Godzilla doesn't wear a suit.
Ah, yeah. Come on, you always see those movies with the guy in a suit walking on the little village.
Pretty sure that's not the way it is in this one.
They don't do that anymore.
No.
Oh, they changed it. When did they change that?
If it was Godzilla in a suit, he'd be wearing a tie.
Yeah, Godzilla in a suit. That I would go see.
I would go see that too.
Godzilla does weddings. Godzilla gets married.
Well, he does eat a Snickers bar in a Snickers commercial.
You think he eats a Fiat too?
And he water skis.
Commercial. Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's going to wrap it up because we're getting loopy and it's 8:00.
Yes, and don't remember to listen to us live every Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern.
Don't remember?
Don't forget to listen to us live.
We want people to remember.
Yeah, and especially because for our big summer blowout, or our big summer giveaway, we will be possibly giving you extra chances to win, only obtainable by listening live.
You know what? Just for the hell of it, I'm going to say we're going to do that next week. We're going to do something next week that you're going to have to listen to live in order to figure out what it is.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be on the podcast. So if you want extra chances at this contest, you are going to have to listen live to figure out what they are, because I'm not going to podcast it.
And I totally want to make it so obvious for people who podcast it and didn't listen live that they missed out. Like, I want to be like, your word this week is, and then literally it just silence on the podcast for like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And then we'll say, sorry, if you're listening on the podcast, you lose. Good day, sir.
You lose. Good day, sir.
The who, the her.
No, I agree with that. So we're just going to put it out there right now. We're going to do something next week. So that's 2 reasons for you to listen live next week.
Yes.
Is to hear that interview with the person from Godzilla, and in order to figure out ways to earn extra chances.
And next week you have to play Go Go Godzilla.
Oh, by Blue Oyster Cult.
Yeah.
I will. I'll play that. So, all right, that's going to end the show before we end up getting more crazy, more stuff. So check us out, www.nextlevelradioonline.com. From there, you can follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube, and subscribe to us on Mixler. Make sure you do all those things that get you chances into the Big Summer Blowout contest. And that is... what do you like?
Now I have you calling it Big Summer Blowout. Just because every time you say Big Summer Contest, I always think of from Frozen. Big Summer Blowout.
That's right.
So that's why I called it that. Now you call it that.
Now I'm calling it Big Summer Blowout. Big Summer Blowout.
But yeah, don't forget to subscribe on iTunes too.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, and yeah, we'll be up the same night on iTunes, which is always a good thing. So that's it. Everybody have a great weekend, mothers. Enjoy Mother's Day, and we will see you tomorrow for our interview with Michael Rowe, if not on next week for the Showcast.
Later.
See ya.
Well, I can't do any more damage around this popsicle stand. I'm out of here! Bye, you two crazy lovebirds! Hey, Rugman, ciao! I'm history! No, I'm mythology! Nah, I don't care what I